Yin was laying in hospital bed, her body aching after giving birth to their baby boy who looked just like Jungkook, her arranged Mafia husband. Yin's family and Jungkook's family both were friends, so they decided to turn this friendship into relationship. Jungkook was at long mission, so he wasn't here when Yin gave birth to their son. He didn't want to leave Yin in this state, but Yin insisted him to go. Though it was an arranged marriage, but still Jungkook loved Yin so much, and when he heard he was going to become a father, his happiness knew no bound. Yin chuckling to herself, now he is gonna scold me for insisting him to go. He was saying nothing is important than my wife and my son, but still I let him go because when duty calls, it sees nothing. She looked at her baby boy who was now going to cry. Nurse entered the room. Nurse, Miss Yin, please feed the baby, he must be hungry. Yin nodded and nurse gently took the baby from crib and placed him into Yin's arms. Yin cooing, "Ah, my baby is hungry. Okay, mama will feed her baby." She cooed and placed a gentle kiss to his forehead before positioning him to feed him. As she was busy feeding her son, door opened and Jungkook entered. As soon he saw Yin feeding their son, he quickly turned his back. He still respected Yin's privacy even after 2 years of marriage. He didn't even force Yin for the baby. He always asked her if she was comfortable or ready to have one, but it was her decision to have a baby, because she had always wanted a mini-me of Jungkook. Yin laughed slightly. Yin, you are doing like you haven't seen me like this before, Mr. Husband. Jungkook, that was different. Yin smiled, shaking her head at Jungkook's shyness. Despite being a Mafia leader feared by many, he still had such a soft side when it came to her. Yin, different? How? Jungkook ran a hand through his slightly disheveled hair. His voice was deep, but there was a hint of nervousness in it. Jungkook, back then, it was just us. Now, it's different. You're holding our son, feeding him. It's precious. Yin felt warmth spread in her chest at his words. She glanced down at the baby, who was now contentedly feeding, tiny fingers wrapped around her finger. Yin, well, don't just stand there. Come here and meet your son properly. Jungkook hesitated for a second before taking slow steps towards her. His heart pounded in his chest as he finally sat beside her. He had been away for weeks, missing the most important moment of his life. Jungkook, I missed you so much, Yin. His voice broke slightly, and Yin looked up at him in surprise. Jungkook hardly ever let his emotions show, but right now, his eyes were glossy, full of unspoken words. Yin reached out, touching his cheek gently. Yin, we missed you too, Jungkook. But you're here now, and that's what matters. Jungkook swallowed the lump in his throat and looked down at the tiny human in Yin's arms. He looked so small, so fragile. His tiny features resembled Jungkook's so much that it made his heart clench. Jungkook, can I hold him? Yin smiled and carefully adjusted their baby before placing him in Jungkook's waiting arms. Jungkook held his son as if he were the most precious thing in the world. The moment the baby opened his eyes and stared at him, Jungkook felt like he was falling in love all over again. Jungkook, hey, little man, I'm your dad. The baby yawned slightly, his tiny hand reaching out and gripping Jungkook's finger. The simple action made Jungkook chuckle softly, his heart swelling with emotions he never thought he'd experience. Jungkook, you already have my heart, just like your mama. Yin laughed, leaning her head on Jungkook's shoulder. Yin, he looks just like you know? Jungkook, which means he's going to be incredibly handsome. Yin playfully rolled her eyes. Yin, or maybe he'll have my charm and wit. Jungkook grinned, placing a gentle kiss on Yin's forehead before looking back at their son. After spending a couple more hours in the hospital, it was finally time for Yin and the baby to go home. Jungkook made sure everything was arranged perfectly. He didn't want Yin to lift even a single finger. As he carefully helped Yin into the car, she chuckled. Yin, Jungkook, I just gave birth, not Baroki my legs. Jungkook shot her a playful glare. Jungkook, still, you need to rest, no arguments. Yin shook her head, but smiled, appreciating his protectiveness. Jungkook got into the car next to her, his eyes constantly shifting between her and their baby, who was safely tucked in a soft baby carrier. As they reached the Jeon mansion, the sight before them made Yin gasp softly. The entire household staff, including maids, butlers, and bodyguards, stood outside in 2 neat rows, all waiting to welcome their young master and Mrs. Jeon. Jungkook stepped out of the car first, adjusting the cuffs of his black shirt before walking to the other side. The chauffeur had already opened the door, and Jungkook extended his hand toward Yin, helping her out of the car with utmost care. In her arms, wrapped snugly in a soft baby blue blanket, was their newborn son. The moment Yin and the baby were out, the staff bowed deeply. Head maid, welcome home, Mrs. Jeon. Welcome, young master. Yin, thank you so much. Jungkook, let's go inside. You must be tired. Once inside, Yin sighed in relief, finally able to relax. Jungkook led her to their master bedroom, where a comfortable seating area was set up for her. He carefully placed the baby in the crib before turning to look at Yin. Jungkook, are you okay? Do you need anything? Yin shook her head. Yin, just sit with me. Jungkook smiled and took a seat beside her on the couch. He pulled her gently into his embrace, pressing a soft kiss on her temple. Jungkook, you don't know how much I missed you, Yin. Yin, I missed you too, but you came back just in time. Jungkook let out a soft chuckle, gazing at their son. Jungkook, he's so small, so perfect. I still can't believe we made this tiny human. Yin laughed. Yin, well, I was the one carrying him for 9 months. Jungkook smirked. Jungkook, and you did an amazing job. You're incredible, Yin. I'm so proud of you. Yin's eyes softened. Yin, and I'm proud of you too, Jungkook. No matter what the world says about you, I know the real you, the man who loves his family more than anything. Jungkook's expression turned serious. He gently took her hand in his. Jungkook, and I will protect my family, no matter what. You and our son, you are my everything, Yin. Yin squeezed his hand, understanding the depth of his words. Yin, I know, Jungkook, and I trust you. Jungkook leaned in and kissed her softly, pouring all his love into that single kiss. After some time, the baby stirred slightly, making a soft noise. Yin immediately reached for him, her motherly instincts kicking in. Yin, looks like someone's hungry again. As Jungkook saw, he stood up. Jungkook, I will ask the maids to prepare something warm for you. Yin tried to argue, but Jungkook had already left. She knew he didn't want to make her uncomfortable. Yin stirred awake, her body still sore from giving birth, but her eyes instinctively searched for Jungkook. He wasn't there, she sighed. He must have left early. Though he tried to stay away from business matters, she knew he had responsibilities that couldn't be ignored. A soft whimper caught her attention. Looking down, she saw her baby beginning to wake, his tiny face scrunching up as he moved his little fists. Soon, the whimpers turned into small cries, signaling that he was hungry. Yin, all right, little one, Mama is here. She carefully adjusted herself, picking up her baby and positioning him to breastfeed. However, as soon as she brought him close, he turned his head away, refusing to latch on. Yin, come on baby, you need to eat. She adjusted her hold, speaking softly to soothe him, but he only grew fussier. Soon, soft cries turned into loud wails. Yin's heart clenched. Yin, why isn't he latching? What am I doing wrong? Tears of frustration pricked at her eyes. She had read books, watched videos, even asked the nurses at the hospital. But now, when she needed it the most, nothing was working. Hearing the baby's increasing wails, the maids rushed inside, their faces, filled with concern. Maid 1, Madam, is everything all right? Yin took a deep breath, trying to stay calm. Yin, he's not latching. He's hungry, but he won't take it. The maids exchanged nervous glances, knowing how important this was for both the mother and baby. Maid 1, it happens sometimes, madam. The baby is still learning. Maid 2, should we call the doctor? Yin shook her head. Yin, no, just prepare a feeder for him. He needs to eat now. The maids immediately hurried toward the kitchen, moving in frantic urgency. The baby's cries grew even more desperate, his tiny face turning red. Yin rocked him gently, whispering soothing words. Yin, shh, baby, Mama's here. You'll eat soon, okay? Meanwhile, in the kitchen, one of the maids quickly heated the milk, her hands trembling slightly from the pressure. She filled the feeder and rushed back to the room without closing the lid properly. Baby's cries grew louder, his tiny face turning red as he kicked his legs in frustration. Yin rocked him gently, whispering soft shushing sounds, but it wasn't enough to calm him. Yin, please hurry, he's getting too worked up. Maid hurriedly handed the bottle to Yin. As she brought the bottle to the baby's lips, some of it splashed onto the baby's tiny hand. A sharp, pained wail tore through the air. Yin, oh my God. Her heart clenched as she saw her baby's delicate skin redden from the heat. She instantly pulled him closer, tears welling in her eyes. Yin, what have you done? His tiny hand. The maids gasped in horror, their faces turning pale. Maid 1, I am so sorry, madam. It was an accident. Yin didn't care about apologies right now. Her baby was in pain, his cries heart-wrenching. She immediately started blowing gently on his little hand to cool it down. Yin, someone bring a cold compress, now. One of the maids dashed out of the room, returning within seconds, with a small, cool cloth. Yin carefully pressed it against his skin, whispering soothing words. Yin, shh, my baby. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Mama's here. Mama's here. Tears slipped down her cheeks as her baby continued to cry, his tiny fingers clenching in discomfort. The bedroom door slammed open, revealing a breathless Jungkook. Jungkook, what the hell happened? Yin looked up, her face wet with tears. Yin, Jungkook he wouldn't latch, so I asked for a bottle, but the hot milk spilled on his hand. He immediately crossed the room, gently taking the baby from Yin's arms, his large hands cradling their son's small body. Jungkook, shh, daddy's here. It's okay, baby, I'm here. His voice was softer than ever. He examined the baby's tiny hand, his fingers trembling as he noticed the slight redness. As soon as the baby was in Jungkook's embrace, he stopped crying and left a small hiccup. Jungkook, who burned my son? His voice was dangerously low, his gaze snapping to the maids. The maids flinched, bowing deeply. Maid 1, it was an accident, Master Jian. I was rushing, and I didn't close the lid. Jungkook, get out. The words were sharp, final. The maids hesitated for only a second before quickly scurrying out of the room, leaving only Jungkook, Yin, and their son. Yin sniffled, her hands still shaking. Yin, Jungkook, I feel so helpless. I couldn't even feed him properly. Jungkook immediately pulled her into his embrace, holding both her and their baby tightly. Jungkook, don't you dare blame yourself, Yin. He's fine. It was just an accident. Yin buried her face in his chest, trying to steady her breathing. Yin, but he was in pain. Jungkook immediately cupped her face. Jungkook, hey, don't do that. This isn't your fault, Yin. She looked at him, searching his eyes, and he kissed her forehead gently. Yin nodded, leaning into his touch. Jungkook, I will call the doctor. He will be fine. Don't cry, sweetheart.